Hey folks, my name is Nick Drake and I'm the pastor of Richland Baptist Church here in Kingdom City, Missouri, and I wanted to do a quick preview this afternoon of my message for Sunday morning, Lord willing, as we're going to be finishing our series through the book of Micah, Walk Humbly. And so we want to invite you to join us at 10:40 right here on our church campus for our worship service, and we will have the opportunity, just as we've had the last few weeks, we will have our service right outside here on the west side of our building in the shade. And so most of the folks will be outside and we'll be worshiping God through song and through prayer and through the preaching of His Word. But then also we will have the opportunity, you can remain in your vehicles and be on the west side in the parking lot over here and kind of worshiping with us that way. If you want to really kind of keep your distance, you can keep your windows shut even and run your vehicle and use your air conditioning. Or you can come right in here in the sanctuary, and on the screens up front here we will cast the service that's going on right outside our windows here. We'll cast that into the building here so that you can watch that way if you need to kind of be out of the heat and humidity because of health reasons. And so all of those are options. We hope you'll join us at 10:40 on Sunday morning as we worship the Lord together. And we're going to be in Micah 7 as we finish the book of Micah, as we finish this series on responding rightly to the judgment of God and really walking humbly in our relationship with Him. We're going to talk about the longing and the action of worshiping the God of judgment. Why do we worship this God who is going to judge? And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about worshiping the God of judgment. I love one of the verses in chapter 7. It's a great finish to this book because remember the book of Micah is about judgment, but it's also about restoration. There's a lot of fear throughout the book because of what God is going to do for those who deserve His judgment and don't have a replacement or something to take that judgment away. So there's a lot of fear in the book, but there's also a lot of hope, and really it finishes with great hope. The book finishes with great hope. And so we see in chapter 7, verse 7, as for me, so Micah's talking about all these discouraging things, these terrible things that he's seeing in his society, very similar to the things we're seeing today. In fact, when we read the beginning of chapter 7, and I hope you'll read it before Sunday to be prepared for the message, but you'll notice when we read the beginning of chapter 7, it could be a description of what we're seeing today in our country, what people have always seen in every culture and every society since the beginning of man in the beginning of sin in Genesis 3. And so we see these terrible things that Micah is going through, these terrible things that he's seeing all around him. And he says, "But as for me, I will look to the Lord, I will wait for God, the God of my salvation. My God will hear me." And so there's a great message of hope in the midst of all the difficulty. There's a great message of restoration in the midst of all of God's judgment. And so I want to encourage you to join us on Sunday morning. We'll look at that. Hopefully it'll be a message of hope for you to make sure that you are prepared for God's judgment, and that as a result of being prepared, as a result of having that right relationship with God, then you will desire to worship the God of judgment, the God who is just, the God who is righteous, the God who is perfect, the God who desires for you to have a relationship with Him. And that's why He sent His Son, Jesus Christ, to die on the cross for your sins, and why Jesus rose from the dead to win the victory over sin and death, so that everyone who calls upon the name of the Lord will be saved. And so I hope that you've experienced that salvation. If you haven't, if you have questions about what it means to know and follow after God and have a relationship with Him through His Son, Jesus Christ, let us know. Comment on the video below. Send us a message to the email address, which is in the notes below. Give us a call at our church office. Let us know how we can pray for you, how we can walk alongside you, how we can encourage you. But in the meantime, I hope that you'll join us Sunday morning. We're looking forward to worshiping the Lord with you. Have a great day. God bless you.